Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ascension eSports' Week 8 matches. We have Peanut Gallery now on the blue side versus Squid's Wards on the red. As always, my name is TheSavedOne on your play-by-play casting. And today, I got Stretch on that color casting commentary. How do you feel after game number 1?
Doing fairly well, man. Hopefully, we have another set of spicy plays here. I think that there needs to be some adjustments in the team construction stages here. So let's see if we can correct some of those.
Yeah, and already we see almost kind of the same bands going back and forth. Once again, we got Zillion, Darius, Poppy as well. But who do you think needs to be banned? Cho'Gath's already banned, but is there anyone else?
Yeah, I think that Fiora's got to be removed off the board for Horseman 4 here. If they don't, then I think it's a bit disrespectful. I think they got lucky last match that there was no follow-up engage to really make sure that it got snowballed out. But either way, it looks like Squid's Wards might have an opportunity to pick it up, as the Peanut Gallery is kind of just ignoring it.
Yeah, and now with the change of sides, do you think that there's going to be heavily like a prioritization pick now on Peanut Gallery since they're on blue side?
Peanut Gallery probably wants something down for the bottom lane. I think Iris Zero being on Ziggs wasn't the best option for Squid's Wards, and I think if they can put him in that position again, then they're going to be off to a good game.
Mm-hmm. Already the picks going back or not the picks going back and forth, the bans going back and forth. And that one pick, or the one ban that was banned away, was the Orianna, but first pick is that Warwick.
Warwick, fantastic in the late game as it gets very tanky. Not only that, but he facilitates a lot of dives thanks to the damage reduction on his Howl. So if they can get Rusty in a good position to set up those dives, I think they can snowball this game very well. But with that pickup, they once again opened the door for the Horseman 4.
Mm-hmm. And though you usually see Warwick picked against these tanks here in solo queue, where you'll have the Maokais, you'll have the Cho'Gaths, but picked against it will be something. If it's not a tank, then it will be that Warwick. Sometimes you kind of see Nidalee even in some senses, but Warwick is a very, very nice first pick just because of how much he's got the tank in the late game, but then he's also got some damage in the early game. But to follow up that Warwick pick is going to be the Fiora and the Braum.
Yeah, Fiora and Braum, very good at catching single targets out and taking them out. So if they can set up something with a Lucian down in the bottom lane, Iris Zero should be sitting in a good position here. But picking the Braum early really kind of shows your hand and shows your plan down in the bottom side. Now, they can set something up still. There are a lot of AD carry options that still work well with Braum outside of the Lucian. So I think if they bait themselves a Lucian ban here, they might just have a follow-up strategy.
Mm-hmm. And to follow up the Fiora and the Braum is going to be the Shen and the Sivir, a top lane pick as well as an ADC pick.
Yeah, a lot of movement. I think they really respect the speed that comes out of Sivir Ultimate. Not only that, but the buffs that Sivir got really gave her some additional wave control out of that queue. So I think that Sivir's really rapidly becoming more popular down in that bottom lane role. So I think that we should see quite a bit more Sivir in the coming weeks just because of the stability and the engage potential that she offers.
And this is so interesting. Last game we saw that Peanut Gallery banned away the Lucian and the Braum in the second phase of the draft. So I'm guessing now Squid's Wards are saying if you're going to ban it, then we might as well just pick it here in the first round of this drafting phase. So they do pick it up. It's going to be that Lucian in the last pick for this draft. But moving on over to the bans, we have the Syndra.
And once again, Syndra, a common menace in the mid lane there, making sure that they take that one off the board. And I do not understand this Ziggs ban, dude. Like, it's already been played out of the bottom lane. I don't think that you're going to really be facing it in the mid just because there's so many other things that are a higher priority than a Ziggs mid lane. But either way, maybe they know something I don't. Maybe Corin the Cat is just the Ziggs god. But even though I've seen him play so many other things that aren't Ziggs and still do perfectly fine, if not phenomenal, so I don't really think that Ziggs is a priority ban here. They probably should have gone for something a little bit more, I don't know, high threat.
Yeah, and you can also see that in this second ban because it's the Elise. I don't know why they would ban Elise because she got, or mages are just not a thing right now. Mages are just garbage in the jungle. But then you can also see the nerfs that Elise received in this past patch. It wasn't, it was pretty nice nerfs towards Elise, but she kind of struggles now in this early to mid-game phase where she really does need to get ahead. But going away from my rant, very nice bans coming out from Squid's wards here in the second draft. They have the Syndra and the Corki, but the picks are already going back and forth. Zach picked in the first round of this draft phase for Squid's wards, as well as Janna responding to it.
That gives them a lot of engaged potential, but Janna, one of the hard counters to Zach, if you don't have a Poppy on the board who can throw up the steadfast presence, it's the Janna with the knockup who denies so many of your engages and really shuts down that champion so hard. The other thing that I like about this Janna pickup is it facilitates the rest of the team comp very well. Sivir gets in, gets the Warwick in, increases that ultimate jump range, gets him in the fight. Janna comes in with healing and shields to make sure he stays up, stays a menace. And while everyone's trying to handle this Warwick who's killing the backline, fearing everyone, not taking any damage whatsoever, Sivir is going absolutely crazy, getting the damage in with the ricochets.
Yep, a very nice utility bot lane, but it's looking like Lucian is going to be going into the mid lane over on Squid's wards. Very interesting matchup here in this whole entire draft, but I just want to get right into these comps and just go lane by lane, just because these look so very interesting. I'm guessing that Shen is going to go into the top lane, or Warwick. I'm not. Yeah, Shen's going to go into the top lane facing off against this Fiora. So we saw this matchup last time. So what does this Shen need to do in order to survive against this Fiora?
We saw this in the last match already. This 1v1's already been played out. Shen cannot die in the early game and does need to, he has to have a gank almost in order to make this kill happen. Now, Shen can get the kill 1v1, but it requires Horseman 4 pretty much misplaying that matchup pretty substantially in my mind, just because Fiora has the mobility to dodge all of the taunts. She's got the riposte to counter the taunt if it is going to land, or if she just wants to accept it and let it land. There's a lot of options that Horseman 4 has in this matchup, and the Shen cannot kill Horseman quickly enough past level 6 to win that 1v1 lane. So with the Grand Challenge, Fiora just has an enormous matchup here, and it requires Wriggle Q getting substantially ahead in the early game to survive it. Now, Warwick is great at those early ganks, and they do have the CC there in the lane to make sure they get the pushback on the Fear, but if they don't line that up, they're pretty much throwing Wriggle Q in the gutter and saying, hey, you're pretty much here to protect everyone else. Get together what you can, but make sure that Horseman 4 doesn't get fed, even at the detriment of your own last hitting and farm.
Yeah, if you really look at this whole entire thing, then Shen, this top lane matchup overall, they really do support their team in a really, really high effect way. I don't know if that's worded correctly, but anyways, moving on right into the jungle. You got Warwick versus the Zac. Zac is an absolute beast, but as well as Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick, Zac has a lot of options in this lane. Let's just start off with that. Because he has his own CC and gap close that he offers to the gank inherently, he can pretty much show up to any one of these lanes that he wants to. Victor probably not the target that he's looking for, thanks to Gravity Well being something that allows him to walk out before Zac can land additional CC out of Elastic Slingshot. But down in the bottom lane, are you kidding me? Getting the Brimstone on somebody and with the follow-up to a Zac jump, that alone is probably enough to kill a person. Top lane, stopping Shen from running away from Fiora. She's already got the damage there to make that kill occur in the 1v1. All you have to do is hold Wriggle Q down for half a second, and Horseman 4 is going to turn up with some money. So he's got a lot of good places he can show up. The one thing that he does not want to do in this game is go head-to-head against Rusty 1321 in the jungle. And that being said, Rusty has a huge opportunity to make that invade happen as long as his lanes can keep pushed out and keep that pressure there and deny the collapse from the lanes.
Yep, the one thing that we need to look out for here in this early game is if Warwick can ward the Zac's jungle for that potential invade. But moving on from there, we got Victor versus Lucian in this mid lane.
Yeah, interesting matchup here. Once again, it looks like Squid's wards are a huge fan of the flex picks out of the mid lane. They picked the Lucian here early, saying, hey, this is going to be a Lucian Braum lane, then swap this or flip the script and say, hey, we're just going to send Lucian into the mid lane to go against your Victor. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Lucian, I don't think, has the same pushing pressure that Victor has once the Hex Core has been upgraded, but there's a lot of kill pressure at the early stages before that buy occurs. So from level 1 to 4, I'm going to say, is where Core on the Cat has this advantage against Victor. Past that point, it becomes real hard to kill him.
Yep, and very quickly, we can even go into the loading screen if really needed. But tell me about the Sivir Janna matchup versus the Caitlyn and Braum.
It's all about this wave control, man. Caitlyn's going to be stepping in, trying to find pot shots, but it actually is going to be even trades for a lot of the time just because of the way the ricochets bounce off of the minion wave. If Caitlyn steps too close to her own ranged minions, Sivir can trade back damage with the W bounces, and all it takes is one Q with a Janna shield on her, and she can get the damage down in return. That being said, though, there is a lot more turret-taking potential available with the Sivir and the Janna in the lane. The Storm Shield, or whatever that move is called, that Janna offers.
Yep, and now we're heading right into game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Peanut Gallery versus Squid's Wards, game number 2. In game number 1, Peanut Gallery, they were losing in the early game, but then they eventually came back towards the later stages of the game to take the W. We're going to have to see if they can take the W here in game number 2. But all of these questions remain. So many answers are left, but we're just going to have to see.
Yeah, a lot of good adjustments here from Squid's Wards. They've got the hard engage that they need to support Horseman 4 here, so if they can get him ahead in the early game, that top lane becomes a good source of gold for Eat My Apples and Horseman. So if they can make that early kill happen for him, they can really look to close this game out fairly early on.
Yep, you already see both of these teams structuring to where they prioritize. It looks like maybe Warwick would want to start on that red buff. The potential is there. Another thing that you also see is that where you get almost kind of a little bit of a leash from your mid laner on the Raptors, but then your bot lane starts the red buff.
Yeah, the super leash.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know why I found that so cool the first time I saw that. I was like, you can do that.
Well, yeah, it's because it's a very different take on the actual leashing process, right? If you think about it, sometimes mid lane leashes Raptor camp, sometimes bot lane leashes red buff. Why not do both at the same time and pass them off to the jungler so they can get a super early start, very healthy, very quick in XP as well. So it's a very good advantage for your jungler, and if these guys know how to do it properly, they can see some good yield out of it.
Yep, they could potentially do that if the opportunity is given to them. But it looks like Zach just wants to go and do the normal boring start where you just go blue buff as well. Warwick starting that red buff. He didn't want to take any risk. He's just like, I want cookie cutter. I want this right now. But 140 has hit and the buffs have spawned. So it looks like these lanes will be starting off, and I'm excited to see how this ultimately.
Look at the positioning of these junglers. They both know the importance of this top side pressure, so they are starting on the bottom side, making sure that they show up top as quickly as possible to try to influence that lane, because the person who gets the advantage here is going to have a much better time than the other. Look at Horseman 4 going so aggressive already.
Yeah, and he's already used his first pot of this lane. He's trying to get all of the vitals off. He got one of them off, so there's a lot of damage going down onto the Shen. So already here at 2 minutes in, both top laners are forced to use their pot, but very nice damage going down back and forth.
And this is a hard position for Shen, because each one of those vitals that gets popped by Fiora does heal her back. So in that right, she has more sustain than Wriggle Q does. So any damage that that Wriggle takes, he's got to be very, very careful. Otherwise, he's going to be in a situation where he's got a full health Fiora and he's being stared down underneath a turret against a Zac. So no real good options for him in this lane so far.
Yeah, you can already see in Warwick's pathing itself, where he's trying to go for that very early level 3, try and get some vision down in the river, trying to heal up even by getting this Scuttle Crab, and already looking for maybe even a gank onto this mid lane Lucian. But Lucian being very, very smart, just shoving in the wave, shoving in the Victor, and just wasting a little bit of time is this Warwick.
Trying to get a little bit fancy here. That is the window right there where typically you'd like to walk into the enemy jungle as Warwick and try to disrupt their clear a little bit, but with Killer Z pushed in already by Corrin the Cat, he can't find a good opportunity to step in. Had Killer Z had that minion wave under Corrin the Cat's tower, it's an easy invade to try to figure out where Eat My Apples is, make sure he's not going top lane for a gank, because if he does get that kill up there, I keep saying this, it's going to be a very, very hard time for Wriggle Q.
Yeah, and you look at the opportunities where Warwick can actually invade, and his option right there was either go Krugs or go to the Raptors. If he went Raptors, Lucian would have been there. If he went Krugs, then there was that potential for the Fiora to even get there before Wriggle Q could. But Warwick just going to be going cookie cutter style jungle clear, where he goes to his red buff, clears his whole entire blue jungle, then he wants to run right back and get some of the gold and some of the XP that the bottom camps give you.
Yeah, a little bit delayed now. Because he had that hesitation in the mid lane, he is now behind Eat My Apples in terms of clearing positioning. And that's really good for Eat My Apples. He's in a spot where he knows he's got the dominance up in the top lane. And honestly, as a Zac player, you should not feel uncomfortable heading to a lane, just jumping in on this Shen, chunking him low yet again, and watching Horseman 4 continue the dominance.
And there's so many different angles that this Zac can pull off here, but in the bot lane, it looks like there's a little bit of a gank. The fear is applied onto two of these members. Ira0 forced to pop the flash. A lot of auto attacks and a lot of damage going back and forth. Exhausted, down, but the severe Q picks up the first blood.
Yep, good movement out of Rusty to make sure, hey, I didn't get what I was looking for on the top side. I'm going bottom.
Yep, and towards the top lane, 3 easy autos. Horseman 4 kind of confused.
I'm confused. I thought he was killing it up there. I don't know how. Wait. All right. So there is a situation. Like, everyone, calm down. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a seasoned professional. I'm just kidding. No, there is some counterplay that Shen has with the W. The fact that it actually negates on hits means that it negates anything that produces an on hit effect. If you can get that timed well enough to deny both the auto attack reset and the Q, there's a fantastic window to trade back. It's just very difficult to land that timing properly. So if Wriggle Q starts getting that rhythm down for the trades against Horseman 4, he might be in a position where he can walk away with some strength. Not only that, but look at his build path. Tiamat first instead of HP means that he's going to be suffering less true damage from the passive and be able to trade back more damage on auto attack. So I like this build a lot.
Very aggressive build coming out of this Shen here in this early lane, like you were saying. And you can already saw in the level 1 trade how this Shen is not afraid to trade against this Fiora. He's not letting the Fiora dominate him like he did last game. But now he's went back to base and he's saying, you know what? I'm going to dominate you even more. I'm going to buy that Tiamat. I'm going to face off against you. 6 minutes into this game, already the lead's going back and forth. The junglers, Warwick picking up a very nice early kill, but an early assist, but he needs to apply that pressure into these other lanes.
Yeah, he's got to find out a different spot that he can show up to. Killer Z in the mid lane does have that Hex Core upgrade, so that lane for him is pretty much just a pushing contest. Core and the Cat trying to just keep these minions off the turret as best as possible while Killer Z sends them in. But I think that Rusty's in a position where he wants to continually show up to this bottom lane. Ira0 has no flash now, and he's approaching level 6 fairly soon here, so if he can get that ultimate landed down onto Ira0, they can pick up some good money. Not only that, but getting Mother of Doges ahead here means that it constantly keeps that wave shoved out. Ira0 has a hard time reaching this turret as long as the Mother of Doges continues to push these waves in the other way.
And the utility lane coming out of Janna and Sivir, it's pretty hard to try and engage onto something like that unless maybe Janna just plays a little bit reckless, steps in the wrong position, and Braum maybe gets a Q off. Anything really to try and CC down this Janna, but other than that, she's playing very passive in that lane, but you can already see the angles coming out of the Zac player. Maybe he would want to try and go for something onto the Shen, but just decides to go over the wall, clear the ward, and you go right on back into a jungle.
Yeah, that's a situation where I think I would have stepped into the lane anyway. Even if you get spotted out, force a situation where Fiora has a little bit of room to step forward and get some minion clear. Bottom lane, a lot of damage being taken here.
Yep, a 4-man gank towards this bot lane. Already Braum flashing away, but Ira0 is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Killer Z picking up the kill there in the bot lane.
Might have even been able to get out of that one. No flash, no heal available, but had Leona Del Bay maybe lined up and hit the stun or hit the slowdown onto Killer Z, I think they could have gotten him out of that situation, but I think amongst all the havoc and panic, Ira0 kind of got lost in the shuffle, and they ended up netting themselves a kill. That being said, I like the pressure being put on this bottom lane. Make sure that your Sivir stays strong, because that's a lot of your late game damage. So I like that they're putting that pressure down there and just keeping this Caitlyn down as much as possible.
And not only do they pick Sivir up a kill, but they pick Victor up a kill. So now you have this beast that is Victor, and he's going to be scaling into this game. And this also gives Sivir some lane presence here. But then even Warwick looking for any advantage that he can really take going into Zac's jungle, maybe even picking up that blue buff, and then just walks right on out.
Yeah, easy take for him to get that blue buff taken away. Zac trying to get in for a little bit of engage here, so we got to fight.
And United is popped onto the Warwick. The Taunt does not land onto Eat My Apples, but Zach passive has been popped. Going to be smited away in just a couple of seconds, or no, they're just going to give it right over to Wriggle Q. They prioritize the tank that is the Shen in the late game way more than they prioritize the warp, but a very nice invade as well as a response.
Yeah, and they actually have to pass that kill over to Wriggle Q because once you spend the time to show up for that fight, you need to make sure that he's got something to bring home up to the top lane. Horseman 4, despite him being behind in the lane, is still a Fiora who was made to counter this champion. So the second you start putting any money into health, it becomes unreliable. Top lane, a lot of trading though.
Oh my god, he just sliced that Fiora down.
Holy moly! Wait a minute, the Tiamat is so sick on Shen against Fiora.
Yeah, not only the Tiamat, but he also went back to basing God Jerome's Fist. But other than that, that was insane damage going from Shen to Fiora. That was if I was Warwick, man, I'd just be clapping.
Yeah. Hey, nice one, Bug. Hey, you got that kill down here. You brought it up top lane, got another kill. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, if Shen went towards the top lane and didn't get a kill, then I would have been mad. But right down in the mid lane, as well as the stun not landing onto the Lucian. But a very nice damage going back and forth. Corrin the Cat forced to go back to base, but off of that, you can already see the pings going down onto these different objectives. It looks like maybe the mid lane tower could be a priority here, or the enemy jungle, or even the Rift Herald.
Yeah, a lot of different options available here for the Peanut Gallery. These guys understanding now how they really want to play this composition out. More trading once again, top lane.
Cool. And the red buff on Shen just applying so much burn damage. It's insane. If Horseman 4 can get these vitals off, then he can completely out-trade the Shen. But it looks like the Shen is just dominating this lane completely, getting all of these damage items that he really does need to get. He just needs to shove out these lanes and then reset. Maybe even try and look for a stand united play onto one of these lanes. But until then, he's just going to be farming in this top lane. CS is also even in the top lane. But this is the one point of the game where the blue buffs are going to be traded back and forth. You can even see Corrin the Cat in the mid lane trying to get that tower.
Yeah, Corrin trying to control this wave a little bit. He knows he's got a limited amount of time before Killer Z comes back and just pretty much one-shots most of it. So he's trying to get some auto attacks in. That being said, he's done a fantastic job of actually getting the minions close enough to actually get those auto attacks down for the most part. But I think a lot of that pressure is coming from Killer Z roaming to the bottom lane and picking up that kill on the bottom lane duo of of Squid's wards. So Corrin the Cat really needs to find an opportunity to make that side lane pressure occur just like the opponent is, or try to get that first blood turret. Either one of those things to try to put his team back in a decent position.
And you can already see on both sides where they're trying to prioritize. You see on Squid's wards, they want to prioritize that mid lane. They want to try and get that tower down as best as possible, even in the bot lane. But on Peanut Gallery, they want to get this Shen a lot of kills so they can even try and take that tier 1 in the top lane.
Yeah, and with Shen having finished up that Titanic Hydra, it's going to be a good time for him up there now. He's got an auto attack reset to combo off with the rest of his damage. So that really opens up some trading opportunities for him outside of what he already had. And it also makes his trades a lot quicker because he can negate some of the time between those 3 auto attacks you get.
Rusty going towards this mid lane, looking for the suppress and finds it onto the Lucian. Lucian just dashes right out of the stun, but Corrin the Cat gets absolutely deleted. Even the stand united down onto the Victor was enough to save him from how much damage this Lucian is putting out here in this lane. But a beautiful trade of kills. This Shen's popping off. You can even see how Warwick is applying this pressure, and this Victor is now 2-0-0.
Victor getting his due diligence there in the mid lane, making sure that they get this gold to the right targets. And I'm saying that, and you're like, wait, hold on. He didn't put that much gold onto Sivir down in the bottom lane, but it's more important to actually get gold on the Shen against Fiora to make sure that he doesn't have an opportunity, or to make sure that Horseman 4 doesn't have an opportunity to come back in that lane. So making sure that Shen stays well farmed and with gold stacked on him is very important for them. Not only that, but outside of Horseman 4, when it comes to the late games part of the game, who's actually going to be taking down the Shen? Like it's hard to kill this man, and you also have the Warwick to worry about. So Warwick participating in a lot of these kills is very good as well.
Yep, you see already 13 minutes into this game, he's got the Titanic Hydra plus however much gold he has other than that. But in the bot lane is this Warwick. He wants to maybe try and find something onto IRS0 and the Braum respectively. But he just goes right on back into this river. He wants to try and apply the pressure in here because this is usually the point of the game where both of these teams want to go for this Ocean Dragon, or even just dragons in general.
Looks like the Peanut Gallery, the team who's got the closest member near that dragon, Eat My Apples very low in this jungle, and I think he's got the blood scent from Rusty, so I think Rusty knows that he's on that side of the map, hanging out pretty low, but I don't think he knows just how low. I'm not sure how Rusty is actually going this low. Did they nerf Zach that hard on the W? I knew it was pretty bad, but I guess it's pretty awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh no, dude! I love that shit. Don't do this to me.
I know.
Ah, come on, man.
Dude, when I first met you, dude, I saw as your profile picture it was Zach, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
God bless this guy, dude.
Wait, no, but then you saw me play it, and you're like, wait, hold on a second.
you played him top lane, and we're solo killing the enemy top lane. I'm like, okay, I'll take it, dude. Yeah. But then Zach got reworked, and he was just the most bannable champion in the whole entire game with an 111% ban rate.
Yeah. 111, dude. Sometimes banned twice. Just to be sure. And stay dead.
Kick him while he's down, dude. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But the Zach, he needs to get around here at 15 minutes into this game because he's been, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, he's trying to clear his jungle, but then he's not really putting the pressure that he needs to apply. He's basically just going to become a tank, but not the tank that he could have been if he maybe went into the right places.
Yep, he's the hero that his team deserves, not the hero that his team needs, dude.
Yeah.
It's unlucky.
Maybe I'm just confused.
Yeah, well, either way, one of the things I will say is that he's got this warding jungle item, but he's not putting any deep wards to keep track of this Warwick. He really needs to make sure that the vision goes down so that they know exactly where he's at, so that they don't do things like, sneak a Rift Herald or something like that.
Yep, which is exactly what Warwick and Shen are doing right now. They're taking the Shen lead. They're taking the Warwick lead as well. They're trying to get this Herald to even try and crack open one of these towers. First Blood Tower has yet to fall, but Eat My Apples goes right into the pit, and Rusty, with the fear applied, the red team gets the Herald. Let's see if Rusty can get out of this situation. The Grand Challenge has been popped, and Horseman 4 is going on a rampage. He gets 1 kill in this fight. Can he get a second kill? Wriggle Q flashes away, but Horseman 4 trying to get to Wriggle Q however he can. Victor as well, just staying right in lane, just saying, I just want to farm, man. And a shutdown goes right onto this Zach, and a double kill overall, a 2 for 0 over onto the side of the red team.
Yeah, well, actually a little bit interesting now that you do mention it. The Killer Z hanging out like, wow, that looks like a really unfortunate situation. And the entire time they're just like, help us, dude. Where's the gravity? You don't have to engage. Just throw down the slow a little bit. Yeah.
Come on, man.
You don't have to put your life on the line. Just
Just give me a high five. Give me some support. Give me a props. Give me a crutch, man.
Come on,
Killer
man.
Z says, no, I can't afford healthcare, but... So who did the Herald go on to? They went on to the Fiora. So the Fiora is now going to use this Herald to her advantage however she can. Maybe even going towards this mid lane to try and apply this pressure. First Blood Tower, once again, ladies and gentlemen, still has to fall. But the question is, where is it going to fall? So now Zach finally doing something with his life, getting 2 assists. It's the caster curse, man. I don't know what it is. But Herald popped into the mid lane on this very low tower. It's completely worth, because it's
I don't know about all this. Where's she wasn't in range to get the local gold though. I'm pretty sure that's out of range of the local gold.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get the turret eventually.
Was it 300 gold?
I think you get like 400 or 500 gold for first turret. It's a lot of gold for first
no,
turret.
like if it's completely solo, it's 550.
Yeah.
But if it's not local, how much is it? Like 300 overall?
I think it's like 100 gold. It's so low if you don't.
Yeah,
it
sucks.
Yeah, you gotta stand next to that thing, dude, and get the local.
Leon Del Bay falling very low. Killer Z picking up 1 kill right at the beginning of the fight, as well as the ultimate coming down from the Victor onto Corn the Cat. He's falling freakishly low. Rusty is on this 80.
Wait, help your Caitlyn! Wait! Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, but Horseman 4 said, hey, good luck. I'll see you later. I was just like, wait, keep your Caitlyn alive, dude.
Oh my goodness, Mother of Joe just gets all of the pill available to her name. The gravity field goes down, and the taunt is down as well onto this Fiora. Can they take her down? Answer is no right now, and she just slides on out of there.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe he just looked. He looked at Iris Zero, gave him the Luigi stare from that Mario game from Mario Kart. You know when he's driving by and he gives him the death stare. That's the look that Iris Zero got as Horseman 4 ran by. It just left him to die to Warwick, dude.
Yeah. Well, maybe low key Iris Zero is just toxic. And then Horseman 4 is just like, nah, man, screw you.
Yeah. I think what actually happened is in comms, Iris Zero is probably, I think I got this. He's like, all right, cool, man. I'm going to run right by him and go for these other kills. But it turned out not to be.
Well, Corn the Cat was there. That, like, emotional support.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The TheSavedOne emotional support. I like that.
Yeah, the emotional support that he gave. Good job. You can kite him. Good job. And then
kite that guy.
Iris was like, homie. No. Without...
Pull me out, dude. Pull me back.
Yeah. Where's my Tom Kent? Not here today. The Brum got picked off. But 19 minutes into this game, 8-3 is the overall score. Even just a 2K lead going over to Peanut Gallery. It's not that much. But Corn the Cat trying to expand his lead, trying to take his lead down to the bot lane. Stand United was popped as well. Rusty suppressing down this Lucian. Lucian just getting absolutely annihilated. This Shen is an absolute beast. Maybe even a double kill, but no, gives the kill right over to Rusty. That's a 2 for 0 at the end of that fight.
Yeah, completely different look here from Wriggle Q compared to last game. Last game, Horseman 4 had all of the advantages there. Horseman's still pretty strong in this matchup. He's only down 4 farm, but the amount of global pressure that Wriggle Q's been able to throw down with the Shen is amazing.
Iris Zero, he's getting not really doved on, but he was getting aggressed on. He applied one auto attack and there was a lot of damage, but Eat My Apples looks like he beats.
Yeah, is this the AFK? Oh, come on now.
Come on,
you know.
Are you gonna do this to him?
Come on, dude. Look at this shit.
Yeah, Rusty, flash over.
Are you kidding me? All right. There we go.
Oh man.
It's kill or be killed here in Ascension eSports. Even by the enemy who's clearly disconnected. He might come back and murder you in one hit.
You ever watch? I'm guessing that reference was from Undertale, but did you ever watch the if Undertale was realistic?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I gotta go see it.
Yeah.
Now that you've mentioned it, I feel like an idiot for not having seen it. Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. But basically, it's like in the first scene, and the Flowey character in that thing has a stutter, so he doesn't know how to say it's a kill or kill be world or whatever. So he's like, it's kill or be kill world, kill be what? And then it's just like a bunch of confusion. It was really funny. I can't replicate it, but it was good.
Hey, nice reference, dude. That was real sick of you.
Yeah, it was a very nice plugin.
Hey, dude, nice.
But I just completely butchered it.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah, I'll give him the old 1-2 punch.
There you go.
But not right now.
All right, so let's talk about this game, man. So, Eat My Apples. The BM is strong with these ones. I like how they're like the rest of the team is showing up too, like a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Like Eat My Apples is standing there just like, I'm AFK clearly. And they're like, oh, hell yeah, is that assist money? I think that there's a world where Rusty ults over this wall too to get the assist.
What I'm guessing is Rusty is mashing the R button right now.
Yeah, he's like,
stop. Yeah.
Let me get that money. And HMTKD is just like one shield. That's all I need.
One shield, one E. She's basically HM is rapidly pressing E. Yeah. Rusty's rapidly pressing R. Eat My Apples is like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's rapidly not pressing anything because he's rapidly disconnected.
Yeah. Kind of sucks. Wriggle Q, what is he rapidly doing? Auto attacking?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You think Victor can come down for an assist? No.
I mean, no, probably not. He's too far away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about where Zach's got to go to actually get back to his base. I mean, they might have time to corral him for a while. And well, actually, he could suicide on a turret then. Never mind.
He's got two options here. You can either hit the blast cone or E over the wall. Or even fly.
I think the E takes too long and he has to go for a blast cone hit. But I think Wriggle Q is expecting that, and so he's going to blast cone hit. Why are we analyzing a free... This is a one-frame analyzation.
So I'm guessing Wriggle Q is now rapidly pressing E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, here's the actual true play. Eat My Apples short hops to knock up Wriggle Q. During that time, he just barely is able to slide towards the opposite side toward Krugs, and he gets the blast code bounce into that little pit, and then he runs out towards the mid lane between those two turrets and tries to jump between to meet up with Fiora.
You should show chat what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, let me show you guys so you guys understand exactly.
Because you guys right now are just looking at Ascension eSports.
All right, so check this out. Eat My Apple's clearly disconnected. He's got the healing debuff because let's just throw this guy in the gutter as much as possible. But anyway, so short hop Q, then you step down to right here during the knockup. It's hard as hell to do, but I think he can pull it off because he's got boots too, so he might be able to do it. And then you just hit the blast cone and jump into this pit and then run down and then try to get to over between those two mid lane turrets and jump to Fiora. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but we'll see when he gets back. Maybe he's a god. Maybe he's stretch level of Zac play, but we'll see.
Yeah. Didn't you drop Zac as a champion?
I mean, I can't play him. He's banned 110%. He was banned 110% of the time, and now he's gutted, so it's like it's hard.
Right. So I guess, are you really a god anymore?
I mean, I've got the mechanics, but if the champ just completely doesn't do anything, what can I do?
Yeah, you're not be a god anymore. Okay. Hold on.
We've nerfed Tristana so that she does 1 damage at every single auto attack throughout the game. It's like, oh, I'm a Tristana man. I'm gonna keep playing Tristana. It's like she's actually not that good. She's terrible. Do not play this champion at all costs. But actually, Zac's pretty good. I should probably pick him up now that he's not perma-banned anymore.
What the hell are you playing Alawi for, dude?
It's literally the worst champion I could play. I cannot go in with Alawi. Like I win my lane and I can't get to the enemy. They just run away.
So what do you play nowadays?
A lot of Scion, J4, and Kled. I think are probably my 3 most plays right now. Scion's so fun, dude.
Dude, Kled's broken.
Oh, he's so broken, dude.
Yeah.
When you hit level 6 and immediately just start sprinting towards mid lane, and their Oriana's like, stand in their chart, and I'm like, I dismount to swap aggro automatically, so I'm just gonna dive in, and I don't care.
Oh, the pause. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. So Zac walks up.
Wait, that's what he chose? He chose walk up?
He's dead.
Well, that's unlucky. Maybe the E wasn't off cooldown. Maybe I was mistaken. Dude, he could have also ulted and then like tried to jump over the wall and carry some people with him, then E back over, then flash to the blast cone and jump into the pit. It would have been sick.
That would have been sick. But he's dead.
Yeah, I know. He walked up instead. He chose walk up.
So he chose the one option that we didn't say. Yeah. You casters think you can analyze my one frame and then just completely just
walked up.
He just kills himself, dude. But it looks like there's a lot of prioritization in this bot lane. Warwick going down here to maybe try and dive. But walks out. Corn the Cat as well, making his way down to the bot lane for that response, because Warwick was actually caught out there by that ward. So,
yep.
Very, very nicely done. That's very nice.
Yeah. What? Baron's alive now.
Right.
Is anyone in a position to take this thing? I guess the Peanut Gallery is. They've got the Warwick who can live against that thing forever, and a Janna to keep him shielded. I guess they can play around that. I'm not quite sure what the next option is here. I think that people just continue running bot lane and ramming their bodies against each other.
It's graphic.
think chest bump more than anything else.
Dude, it's actually a really awkward moment. I don't know if I should be talking about this right now.
You probably shouldn't. Hey, well, hold on a second. Wait, I'm going to stop you right there.
It's a really awkward moment when you're running towards a guy and you're trying to signal for a chest bump. Yeah. But then you're just yelling at the top of your lungs, chest bump! And you're like smacking your chest.
No.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, chest bump!
I was the coolest kid. Yeah, chest bump! That's just slamming your chest. But
yeah, then you jump at them and they're like, Jesus, what happened? What are you doing?
Sometimes when they're like shorter than you, you jump too high.
Yeah, it's like
your belly ends up in their face, so it's like it's kind of awkward. Yeah. So then they just smell your belly sweat. But anyway.
Anyway, away from that, give me something to talk about here, man.
Okay, so you can already see from that one Zac DC, he's still in the base, so he's DC'd. But they're basically this blue team is just completely taking over this whole entire blue side jungle. Victor once again just going default, going into the mid lane, but the rest of the blue team is going bot lane. Rotations up.
Yeah, and I guess they ran out of pause time, which is why the game is resuming. Unfortunate ruling, but it has to be done to make sure the games actually proceed. Otherwise, you can just fake that you have a DC and continue on indefinitely, and it's just garbage. That being said, I'm not quite sure what Squid's wards can really do here. Eat My Apples just needs to return, and if he's not returning, then they put themselves in the same situation they were last game, where there's no engage, and therefore Horseman 4 or the rest of the team can't enter fights. So
yeah,
it's hard.
It's really hard. It's not a fun situation to be in. You're basically heavily relying on your DC to come back.
Yeah.
Sad, man.
And
Sad
with
life.
what wave clear, you ask? Oh, the Caitlyn Piltover Peacemaker is what we're waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be what protects these turrets. So it's a hard life.
What about? I was gonna say, what about the emotional support from Braum? But like,
I mean, yeah, you can emotionally support someone as much as you want, but it's not going to raise them up to a W in this game.
wow. Oh, Zach's back.
Hey, there we go. Now we got a game on our hands, and it's instantly the peanut gallery says, "Oh, geez, he's back." Starts running away.
Eat My Apple's like, sorry guys, my mom.
She said I had to take the groceries out of the van. Happens all the time, dude. I understand. I've lived that life before.
Have you?
Yeah, dude. I used to live with my parents at one time in my life.
Well, yeah, like I live with my parents right now.
Yeah.
You have parents?
Yeah.
No.
Whoa, you were born?
Yeah, like I'm sitting here and I just like yelled at my mom. Mom's like, "Are you busy?" I'm like, "I'm okay." Oh, no. Gotta love the mom. Shout out to the moms.
No, I had shout out to the moms. I like that, dude. No, I had parents who were I was like, yeah, give me like 20 minutes to like do it now, and I'm like, gee, all right, I guess I'm AFK for a while.
Yep. Yeah, I get. Sorry, guys, my mom.
Yeah, you know, ganked by mom, as they say.
It was bad too. But yeah, like, it's kind of funny because my mom tries to like, she comes into Twitch chat, and then she'll be like, virtual online cookies for all of Daniel's friends, and I'm like, oh, Mom.
Ooh, hold on, is she actually making cookies in real life to match up with that though?
Well, yeah. What I can do is when we meet one day, I'll bring you cookies, dude.
Oh, hell yeah, dude! Now I'm excited.
Oh, I swore. Hell yeah, dude.
I like cookies.
That
was the dumbest thing I could have said right there. I like cookies.
Freaking Cookie Monster over here. Give me cookie. Yummy. But
wow, Daniel, I finally get to meet you, dude. It's so great to see you. Did you bring the cookies? Yeah, I brought the cookies.
No.
Oh, thanks. Wait, what?
yeah, like I just bring the cookies and you don't give a shit about
Yeah,
me.
I'm like,
It's
no, I swat. No, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna just swat them out of your hands onto the floor. You're like, screw these cookies. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, Rusty's going in right now. He's down onto Iris 0. A lot of damage going back and forth. Fleeing away is that Caitlyn. She's trying to kite as best as possible, but Eat My Apples is instead just falls. But he has the passive available to him. But then Horseman 4 once again finds himself in a 1v4 situation, but has the healing available to him to get out of that one. But Mother of Doges doesn't get any support. That's a double kill coming in from the Lucian. He's trying to pick up another one. But once again, flash in by Leona Del Bay. That was really nice.
That was very aggressive by Leona Del Bay.
I
I don't know about all that. Like, you gotta have other people with movement and flashes to close that gap. But either way, I like the enthusiasm there.
I was trying to find the word for it, and the only thing I thought about was nice. But then I'm like, wait, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nice. All right. Well, everyone is low, and Warwick is in the area. Are they really going to consider this Baron? Yo, stop that Baron! Do not attack this Baron. They are not. This is not a good move. This is a terrible move for them.
This is a horrible move.
Oh, wait,
but
hold
it
on.
isn't a horrible move because Rusty's popping off. But I spoke way too soon because he's dead. A 1-for-1 trade at the end of that fight. Yeah. And now both sides are just back.
I think both teams are tilted here. The Zach DC'd.
It was the Zach DC.
Squid's Wards lost three turrets. They were in desperation play mode. And the Peanut Gallery's overconfident, and so they're like, oh, well, they just already chunked it down to half life. Let's finish off with our quarter health Warwick and quarter health Victor. That's a great idea against 4 members of the enemy team.
Yep. But the dragon's up.
Hey, there you go. And the Mother of Doges and HMTKD are both in position to take it. Let's see if they do it.
Let's see if they do it. Well, Zach is coming down here.
No, they don't do it.
Where's the Warwick, though? Oh, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Remember, he died over near the Baron.
Yeah, he hit the pooch real hard. But Killer Z, finding himself in 1v2 situation. Can he get out of this one alive? The answer is going to be no. Braum picking up that kill.
That's a lot of damage coming out of this Victor, though. They've got to be really careful how they handle him in these team fights. That being said, Victor no TP available in his summoner spell repertoire. I don't know why he's split pushing there. I guess he clears minions very quickly, but once he gets the turret, does he have the Lich Bane? He does. Okay, never mind. He can split push. Okay, I got you. Okay, I see you. I see you. Probably want deep board coverage before you do that, though. Otherwise, you're going to have that happen to you literally 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, you also need to make sure that the rest of your team is doing something. Because if you're just top lane split pushing, you're like, yeah, you guys, I'm split pushing, but the rest of your team's in the base, you're kind of in a weird situation. But Rusty, maybe getting caught out here. The Zac bounce is not enough
Ooh,
to
good
CC
leap.
this guy down. Yeah. Very nice leap away by this Warwick, staying alive, going back to base. Hopefully he can return before this red team even tries to start this Baron. But a lot of vision from this red team on this Baron.
Yeah, a lot of engage opportunities for the red team as well. Eat My Apples is on a ward, but had they actually started the Baron buff here, they could have easily turned inside of the pit, gotten a good jump off, but they instead choose to rotate over towards the mid lane instead. So, trying to figure out what they want to do here. But that being said, Caitlyn is in a good position. 2 items finished up and a lot of protection behind Braum and Eat My Apples. So it's up to Mother of Doge's ricochet damage to try to combat the Caitlyn DPS. Killer Z now on a disconnect. You know what? Guess what?
What?
It's a league of disconnects today. I don't know.
Yeah. I had so many good lines to say too.
Oh really? Wait, did you have like a sheet you prepared with like, all right, when this happens?
Well, no, it was my mind. It was like, oh my gosh, Fiora's in the bot lane. I can mention something about that. Oh my god, there's a lot of vision down on this Baron. Look at the blue team. They're asking to get caught out. But then this happened.
Then the pause came through yet again. Let's analyze this one clip. What do we got here?
What do we have here? Well, we have Fiora in the bot lane.
Yeah.
So she's split pushing while the rest of the blue team is around this Baron. But you also have, who is that? Is that Shen backing? Looks like Shen's backing.
Yeah.
Shen wants to go back to base and trying to respond to this Fiora aggression. But while that already happens, she's going to get that tower.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that in this situation, Rusty is a little bit too far forward against Eat My Apples.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, this one single frame.
Yeah. That's one frame.
I thought you were talking about the whole entire thing.
No. We're art connoisseurs now, man. We don't actually analyze moving pictures. We analyze paintings. Paintings on a digital.
Analyze League of Legends?
Yeah, no. League of Legends memories is what we analyze here.
Wait, show the chat what we're looking at.
All right, dude. Well, I mean, I'm trying to prevent.
Are you kidding me?
All right, it's Ascension eSports. Welcome back. We're here once again, rubbing our beards and trying to figure out what the meaning of life is through the septatone pause screen.
I don't have a beard.
We're rubbing our chins.
Chins.
Yeah.
My jaw.
Yeah, scratching our foreheads.
Face. Yeah. Nose?
Yeah. Sure.
People scratch their nose?
Yeah, I mean, people scratch their nose. It's one of the more common facial regions that itch.
I was gonna say glasses.
Wait, how can we get more viewers when there's a pause going on and we're not actually doing it? Dude, our casting sucks, dude. People only show up to listen to us just banter back and forth. That's the only reason they arrive.
Is it? Should we just come every week to banter?
Yeah, we should. You know what? We're gonna become banter casters. That's all we do. We just talk.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna make LCS and we're gonna do nothing but banter.
And nothing but banter. People are gonna be like, "What are these casters? Talk about how when dragons come back."
Yeah. Well, that's what the challenger scene is, isn't it?
Oh, I haven't watched any games, so I don't know, man. Do they just banter?
No, what happens is I don't want to trash.
All right.
But like,
yeah, just dial it back 30%.
all I'm
and then
saying
all right,
is we could be better than that's all I'm saying.
All right, that's good enough. All right, stop right there, but don't go too far.
We're not gonna go too far. But we're out of the one frame now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're back to we're movie viewers now. We no longer analyze photos. We actually analyze the game of League of Legends. So it's pretty good. Ooh, hold on.
Oh, very cute. Can you get the final auto op? Nope.
Oh
Horseman
my
4 wants
he's
to
gonna
go
lose this 1-1, and it's
for
actually
a
tragic.
Trade, but voice crack. But he couldn't get the final auto off. That's unfortunate, but At the end of the day, a lot of damage going back and forth between Horseman 4 and Wriggle Q. Taunted up is that Fiora on that tower, but it doesn't even matter because he's taking a lot of damage. Can he finally get the final auto waft? He slides in! Nope.
So,
Wow, this is happening.
my analysis earlier was incorrect, as we see Eat My Apples onto Killer Z.
Whoa, that was a lot of damage going down onto Leon and Dalbay, but a 1-for-1 the top side of the map. Zach and the two ADCs are maybe looking towards this Baron, or they could be going towards this mid lane to try and push that out, or maybe even another pick
Baron.
onto this Janna. But Janna had to flash away.
They were like, Baron, no mid lane, no Baron, no Janna. No, she flashed. All right, we wasted all our time.
They just walk out. They walk up.
Yep, here we go. I like this ultimate. Who are they going to go for? Just grab anyone, dude. It doesn't
Can
matter.
he go? And he suppresses down the Lucian. A lot of damage going back and forth between both of these teams. Rusty couldn't find the fear and does not find it, but taunted is that Caitlyn. And the redemption coming down from the sky lands onto two of the people they're trying to chase away, both Eat My Apples and Corn the Cat. Leon Del Bay comes and says, shield. You don't even need it. But the rest of the peanut gallery are now walking towards this Baron question mark. I don't know.
And I think this is where, okay, all right, let's troll our team now. I don't know about all this. Let's all calm down here. There's still a League of Legends match going on, Wriggle Q. All right, anyway. I think this is the point in the game where the peanut gallery realizes, oh, wait, we can literally sprint at them at literally any point in time, and as long as we have Janna ulti up and Shen ulti option, we're going to win the fight 9 times out of 10 because Sivir bounce damage is absolutely ridiculous to try to handle, so should be no problem.
And there we go. Finally, the taunt lands onto one person. Lucian has to fear away but gets shut down. And as well, the Braum drops. That's a 2-4-0. And now the blue team has this Baron. They use the ultimate from the Sivir. Can they maybe try and catch onto one more person? Shen is flashless, but the Zac is on the flanks. This taunt does not land. But the rest of this blue team, they really want this inhibitor, and it looks like they can try and get it.
No problem picking that one up. Lich Bane available once again on Killer Z means that the last hit on that turret is no problem. Jump in.
Oh, I was on top. Jumped. Yeah, Rusty jumps in and fears off Horseman 4, as well as the ultimate coming down from the Victor onto two of these people. But the rest of this blue team, they're kind of debating if they want to go into the bot lane, whether they want to try and even finish the Nexus towers off. But they just decide to go into the bot lane and maybe even try and get this inhibitor. Fiora, as well as Zac, Caitlyn, Braum, and Lucian. This whole entire team is up. They have the items and they have the engage needed if they want to try and go in for this one. Zac is on the flanks. He's on the left side. Maybe he wants to try and go in for something. The potential is there. Doesn't want to charge anything up too soon just in case the rest of the team just doesn't want to engage, but a very nice disengage by the peanut gallery.
Yeah, and they've got an open window to return here and put some additional pressure. Having that inhibitor available to them is fantastic. Horseman 4 going aggressive.
Ooh, Horseman 4 once again finding himself in a 1v3 situation as well. Leona Dalbay is just there to provide that support.
Good jumping.
My Apples jumps into 3 people, knocks up 1, but Fiora or Braum was not in the wasn't in the position to try and follow up.
Yeah, not enough damage there. Horseman 4 probably could have chased that one out as long as Zac continued with him, but unfortunately not a lot of time with that mid lane inhibitor down to really continue chasing out too far. Also, no vision available in the enemy jungle, and you've already seen other people head back. Shen ultimate back available, and if you're unsure of that timing as well, it's another good reason to back off. So good decision overall to just play it safe and step back after that chase.
Even the rest of this blue team just coming back. They want to try and reset. They want to try and use, I believe, the Baron to the maximum potential. They're looking for a fight. They're maybe even looking for a pick here around this dragon. They want this ocean dragon. They don't have one yet, but the regen could be nice because of the amount of poke and even engage that Squid's words present.
Fear on the top side means that they can't really capitalize on any of this poke or engage potential that they've got on Eat My Apples. And with that Fiora taking that red buff, they actually give up the Ocean Drake completely.
Yep, and Rusty just, wow, he's going so freakishly fast. He could not press and hold Q to try and follow Eat My Apples, but he falls anyways. Even Leona Dalbay not finding himself in the best situation, uses the Warwick ultimate onto one of the members. The fear away from the Warwick lands on 2 of these people. Horseman 4 just dashing right over that wall. A 2 for 0 at the end of that fight, plus the Ocean Dragon for the Peanut Gallery.
Another strong push available for them. They've got just a couple seconds left here on the Baron buff, but either way, with that bottom lane inhibitor already pre-exposed, they can go in it no problem.
Yep, Horseman 4 tried to engage onto the Warwick that was in that mid lane. But Warwick, he has that fear away, and the rest of this blue team just want to try and maybe even end this game here. The flanks are available from the Braum and the Fiora. Once this Lucian comes back from base, Nexus Tower number 1 falls, Kin number 2 fall, but Horseman 4, he's not in the best situation here, uses the parry away. But even Leona Del Bay just falling, goes right into the grave. But it's looking like this could be the end of the game, 36 minutes in. And finally, the Peanut Gallery, they close up this game.
A game completely blown wide open. Unfortunately, thanks to a timely disconnect from Eat My Apples, which netted like 3 or 4 turrets at one time. A hard situation to deal with, for sure. But it happens, especially in Jan Ascension eSports. So it's unlucky that that's... Oh, wait, what?
Just do the whole entire outro like that.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Plus, outro is your job. I'm just doing some
right.
some brief analysis here. One thing I do want to talk about is the stability that came out of the top lane from Wriggle Q this game. Completely flipped that matchup around from the previous set. Able to really show up with that Tiamat early on, and that changed the entire tone of the lane there, just because of the amount of damage that was coming down within the trade durations compared to last time. So I like how he was playing it out. Really did a good job to make sure that he opened up the map for his team with that stability. And it really was a focal point for them to start pushing this game in. Now, that being said, I still don't know how this matchup would have gone if Eat My Apples did stay connected for the entirety of the set, but it's hard to deal with, man. I don't know. It's always hard to watch a game like this because you're happy for the team that won and you're always sad for the team that lost, and you always wonder what could have been. But you kind of just gotta deal with it and move on as best you can.
And with that, I think we have an end to this game. But before we go, who is the MVP of the whole entire series?
Oh, that's a good question, man. I do not know because I could say a lot of things about damage.
I'm either thinking Wriggle Q or Killer Z. Because Killer Z was a beast.
Killer Z's Corki was... Yeah, it was fantastic. It was really it's what netted them that first game completely, I think.
Yeah, even Wriggle himself is saying Killer Z MVP, no question. Yeah. No question.
Like that Corki obliterated people. And even Killer Z, like you didn't see him popping off that much this game, but you saw in just a little bit of the skirmish fights, the damage was really high. I honestly think that that Rusty did a fantastic job in both sets as well. Yeah. So I think if I had to give an MVP, my first choice is Killer Z, second choice is Rusty.
What about an honorable mention?
An honorable mention, Wriggle.
Jana.
The silent support, dude. 0015, my boy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to like get notoriety as a support player, man. And to be honest with you, I didn't pay attention too much to either of the support roles except for when Leona Del Bay aggressively flashed against, I think, Killer Z up in the top lane and threw out the Q like he was going to close the gap. But other than that, I have not been paying too much attention to the bottom lane supports.
Okay,
but I think Killer Z and Rusty, two first choices.
We've given a lot of credit to some of the members of this team, but what about like the crisp high five? We'll give that to Mother of Doges, so everybody gets them.
Oh, wait, okay, yeah. The participation trophy.
Yeah,
the stretch saved one cast.
Yeah. Good job.
All right, you know what? MVP. Runner-up MVP, honorable mention. Silent support and crisp high five. Crisp high five to round it out, dude.
The crisp high five.
Sometimes it's hard to get a crisp high five. You get those people who don't know how to high five properly and they miss 4 times in a row, and eventually you're like, I'm just not gonna high
Just
five
stare
you.
at my elbow. Just stare at my
No,
elbow.
no, no. I don't ever hit that desperation. I don't let it get there. I'm just like, we're not
Really?
we're not high fiving anymore.
We're not high-fiving.
This session of high five attempts has ended.
Never speak to that
You
person
have
again.
no more attempts on high fives left. Come back to me in an hour and a half.
Why haven't you talked to that person in 10 years? 'Cause you didn't get that high five.
I asked for a crisp high five, and it was not
Like
crisp.
it was a sloppy second.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He only hit my hand with 3 fingers. It was not crisp.
Yeah. It was not crisp. It was only bleh. But I think we should end this off here. You think we should end this off?
I agree with that, man, because otherwise I could sit here for an hour just yucking it up.
Yeah, me too.
You know me, dude. I can talk a lot.
Yeah, me too. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. If you have enjoyed, then please follow the channel and also come back next week because we'll be here. I don't know if you guys will be here, but I'll be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here. But will I be here? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be
But
here.
Stretch. Where can we find you, dude?
You can find me either on Twitter at Stretch Beckham or on Twitch, twitch.tv/lolstretch. A couple of the Ascension guys have rolled through. I've got follows from Scoop and Miji so far. I think Red Flame follows me now. Yeah, dude. I've got a sub emote now too, dude. You can get the new sub emote, Stretch You Right. It's just a little face of me making a face that's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
All right. TheSavedOne, where can they find you?
Hey, SaveOne,
Glad
you know
you
what? Where you
asked.
can find? Yeah.
I'm glad you asked, Stretch. Well, you guys can find me at youtube.com/channel/ this really big URL. I don't know why they don't want to update it, but anyways, you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel where I do a lot of League of Legends related stuff. It's awesome. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'm TheSavedOne. I've been joined by Stretch. We want to make it to Riot one day. Only you guys are possible to make that happen. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a blessed week. Peace.